to be there long term. You're not sure
Boh.
if Buddy Hield wants to be there.
Cioè sarebbe un abito così.
Drafting a young playmaker, somebody to come in case that doesn't pan out. Ultimately, I think it's a great opportunity for the team. They've got a new general manager in Sacramento, and Monty McNair, who loves the analytics. Is this a perfect fit for their philosophy now?
Yeah, and I think it's a perfect fit alongside Deere and Fox as well, because Tyrese Halliburton is a little bit of an unorthodox player. He's not really a go-get-you-a-bucket, break-you-down guard. That's actually an area where he struggled a little bit, whereas Deere and Fox is one of the fastest players in the entire NBA. So I think those guys can play off each other extremely well. You know, he's a big-time shooter with his feet set, shot over 40% from three this past season. Was actually the only player in all of college basketball to shoot almost 60% from two, 40% from three, and average over 5 assists a game. Makes everybody around him better.
So Tyrese Halliburton is going to the game. Bobby Marks, the front office expert, was just blown away by his interviews and probably the result of his family example.
This is my pops on TikTok. Man is a fool.
Andiamo a questare.
No, I've got to see a lot of them because over here in the U.S. playing. They're both great players, and I hope I get the chance to play with them. But I'd love whatever I need to do to play with Italy and whatever role I can play, I'll be happy to do it.
Figlio di Mannion?
Lo so che non ci sono certezze, però io me lo sento dentro, sono sicura che Nico avrà un grosso ruolo nel futuro italiano, nella scena italiana. E conoscendo Nico si farà voler bene, perché Nico non fa niente al 50%, è 50%.
Beach. I'm on the beach with all the kids for a month, so I pick up all the Roman slang.
Exactly. How will they go about that? The franchise was established in 1989. The biggest star in Timberwolves history, easily the big ticket. You know, he knows which hat he can take out of that big. In terms of any of these guys in particular, in terms of earlier in our draft preview show, that they're taking calls right up era of the pandemic. We'll hear from the players selected, and they will have their moment with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver as we get set to start this NBA Draft 2020. Here is Commissioner Silver.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2020 NBA Draft. While we wish we could be in an arena hosting the top picks, their families and friends, and thousands of fans, we're grateful to ESPN for still finding a way to make this one of the most memorable nights on the NBA calendar. The draft marks a new beginning for our teams, and it's a new chapter for the next generation of players in search of their NBA dreams. This draft, however, is anything but ordinary. Seasons cut short, no NCAA tournament or NBA Summer League, not even pickup games in most places. And with opening night fast approaching and less time to prepare, this class of rookies will be challenged more than ever before. But they are ready. Like so many organizations fighting their way through the pandemic, we're trying to adapt to a new normal. At the same time, we recognize that virtually every decision comes with enormous uncertainty. By opening our season on Christmas week, we not only hope to find a way to operate safely and responsibly, but to inspire resilience and optimism in others who are also struggling through these difficult times. And while tonight we welcome the best of the best from around the world, we also celebrate a game whose universal values have been passed down from generation to generation. Values like respect, equality, tolerance, and fairness. That's why basketball is a game for everyone, and one whose values we can all share. So let's get started with this terrific group of young men who are moments away from hearing their names called. The first pick in the 2020 NBA Draft belongs to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have 5 minutes to make their selection.
The Timberwolves are on the clock. Minnesota with Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell as cornerstones there, and trying to sort of re-energize a franchise that has really struggled in recent years. And the question is exactly was established in 1989. The biggest star in Timberwolves history, easily the
Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett, the fifth pick taken in
The big
1995
ticket.
draft. He is the franchise leader in basically every statistical category. Under the great
Kevin
Flip
Garnett.
Saunders,
Flip.
they went to the playoffs 8 straight times in 2004. They reached the Western Conference Finals. Kevin Garnett was the
Who's up?
MVP. But since 2007, it's been a really tough time for the Timberwolves. They have the lowest winning percentage in the NBA, but now with the first pick, will they keep that for themselves and add someone to go with Towns and Russell, or will they trade it? Reese Davis, alongside Jay Williams, Jay Billis, Mike Schmidt, Avery Morjanowski will have all of the news for us throughout the night. Malika Andrews will be talking to the players as they are selected. Bobby Marks, from a front office perspective, will give us some insight there as well. So Minnesota on the clock right now. Woj told us earlier in our draft preview show that they're taking calls right up until the moment that they have to announce their pick. You're sitting in their shoes. How would you approach this? What would you do?
Well, first, if you're going to use the pick, you take the best player. I'm not sure that at the number one spot, you're worried too much about fit. I think you're worried about the best player available. And this year, the top 3 players we're looking at are all different. They're really different. And I think reasonable basketball minds can differ on, is LaMelo Ball the right choice or Anthony Edwards the right choice? You know, those are close calls to make. But if you are going to wait, if they are fielding offers right now, and you're not sold on the top pick, you're not sold on it, trade it. And I can play a little bit of factor.
Okay.
Just draft the Jericho.
We've got just seconds to go now, winding down, and still the pick is not in, which leads you to believe that perhaps the Timberwolves are entertaining everything and anything that people are sending their way. Do they have the right cornerstones, Jay Will, in terms of can they build a big-time winner with Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell as a cornerstone in the franchise?
Look, I mean, if you want to keep it,
So can they build?
other than a concentrated defender, it's just hinges my mom and my grandmother. Keep it up, hinges my mom and my grandmother. So that can play a little bit of factor when you think about Anthony Edwards.
And just drafted Jericho.
Exactly.
We've got just seconds to go now, winding down, and still the pick is not
Oh,
in, which
the
leads you
rest.
to believe that perhaps the Timberwolves are entertaining everything and anything that people are sending their way. Do they have the right cornerstones, Jay Will, in terms of can they build a big-time winner with Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell as a cornerstone in the franchise?
Look, I mean, if you want to keep Karl Anthony Towns in Minnesota, you need to start putting the right pieces around him to start winning these type of games. It's been a challenging year for Karl Anthony Towns all the way around. My condolences to him losing his brother this year due to COVID. It's been incredibly difficult for him. But I do like the core, especially if D'Lo continues to progress in the way he's progressing, right? When he came from Brooklyn, he was an all-star.
Victor
He was playing at a very high level.
Wembanyama.
I love that combo. You see the right pieces around this team make it work.
That's where I think Edwards can help, just giving you that scoring punch. But like Jay said earlier, all
Ci
the
vuole giocare.
So, I mean, James Wiseman, LaMelo Ball, all of them, Anthony Edwards, they all have major questions.
Petrucci.
The 2020 NBA draft is in. The Minnesota Timberwolves have made a selection, and there is the commissioner, Adam Silver, on his way to the podium.
With the first pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Anthony Edwards from the University of Georgia.
So Anthony Edwards with his mother and grandmother with him there is
Titles at stake. Spurs are closing in. Duncan got him out of the entry.